Hi everyone, my name is Lucas Calderon, and today I want to share what it's been like working with one of the most exciting brands in the world, Red Bull. I've been working part time with Red Bull Dominicana for the past 5 months, and I'm still part of the team today. I'm not in a typical office role, I'm the event car driver, and I have the honor of driving El Congo, Red Bull's flagship branded vehicle here in the DR. It's equipped with a full sound system, coolers, and a commanding visual presence. You don't miss it when it shows up. El Congo is more than a vehicle. It's a moving symbol of energy, music, culture, and connection. Whether we are at a music festival, a university, or a sports tournament, our goal is to bring the brand to life in a way people never forget. Working with the Wings team and the marketing crew, I've been able to see Red Bull's marketing philosophy in action, how it focuses on experiences over ads, on making people feel something real. This presentation isn't just a report, it's a look inside what it means to carry the Red Bull brand out into the world, from the streets of Santo Domingo to every stop El Congo makes. Before anything else, I want to take a moment to recognize the people who've made these 5 months so impactful. First, Ivana. She's the field marketing manager here in the DR and also my supervisor. From day one, Ivana treated me like a full part of the team. She gave me real responsibilities and always trusted me with me to represent the brand. And what stood out most was her leadership. She brings clarity, focus, and passion to everything she does. Javier is another person I learned a lot from. He helped me understand how every little thing we do, from setting up a cooler to planning a stop with the Congo, is part of a bigger picture. Javier sees how each detail connects back to the strategy. Then there's Liamel and Carla, who were always there helping me to troubleshoot issues, plan routes, manage last-minute changes, even just keeping things positive when events got stressful. And finally, Jerome. He's one of of those people who lives the energy of everyone around him. He helped me stay focused on growing, not just doing my job, but doing it better each time. Working with this team made me realize that marketing is not just about branding or selling, it's about people. It's about working alongside people who love what they do and learning from them every single day. So, let me explain exactly what I've been doing. I started working at Red Bull Dominicana in February 2025, and I'm still proudly part of the team today. My role is officially titled Event Car Driver, but it's way more than just driving. I'm one of the people who help bring Red Bull's marketing ideas to life in real spaces. Through El Congo, the Jeep-style event car equipped with sound, branding, and refrigeration, I work with the Wings team, supporting events, brand activation, and logistics. Basically, any moment where Red Bull needs to be felt, seen, and heard in the real world. From day one, I was exposed to how Red Bull operates in the Dominican Republic, the flow of decision making, that integration with our distribution partner, Cervecería Nacional Dominicana, and how marketing, sales, and logistics all collaborate. This experience has helped me connect the dots between what I study as a business student and what I see in action every week as part of the team. What you see in the next words I say is a mix of my observations, what I've learned, and where I think Red Bull Dominicana is headed next. Most people think Red Bull is just an energy drink, but once you're in the inside, even at the local level, you realize it's so much more than that. Red Bull is an international company that created the entire energy drink category, but it built a brand based on lifestyle, not just liquid. Red Bull isn't a passive product, it's active. It associates itself with action, adventure, sports, music, nightlife, youth culture, and movement. That's a big reason El Congo exists. It's not about waiting for consumers to come to us. We go where the energy is. In 2024, Red Bull sold over 12.6 billion cans in 178 countries. We create experiences and make consumers feel part of something unique. So, in the Dominican Republic, we apply that same philosophy, but with a local twist. Red Bull entered the Dominican Republic in the early 2000s, when energy drinks weren't even a thing here yet. Most people were used to soda, beer, juice, so Red Bull didn't just introduce a product, it introduced an entire new category. And instead of buying billboards or running TV ads, Red Bull took a different route. It focused on experience-based marketing. They gave out cans at events, they partnered with rappers and DJs, they sponsored basketball tournaments, dance battles, and even cultural festivals. They made it fun, bold, and a little rebellious, which worked, especially with young people. One of the most amazing examples is Red Bull Batalla, the freestyle rap competition in 2022. The Dominican Republic hosted the Central America final, bringing together top talent from across the region. These events are part of how Red Bull builds a following here by connecting emotionally, not just selling. That's the kind of energy I get to represent every time I drive at Congo into an event and see people's reaction. So, originally, Red Bull didn't operate here directly. They relied on Cervecería Nacional Dominicana to handle distribution and sales. That worked for a while, but over time, Red Bull realized that it needed its own team to manage the brand and marketing locally. So in November 2024, Red Bull Dominicana SRL was officially formed. That gave the company full control of its marketing, events, and image in the DR, while still working closely with Cervecería Nacional for logistics. Now, here's what's interesting. Ivana Torres, who I work with directly, leads the marketing for the DR. She plans events, manages the Wings team, and oversees all the local brand activations. And then there's Bartolome Paz, who I've also observed. He's part of the CASA team, that stands for Central and South America. And he's responsible for growing and guiding marketing teams across Latin America. Even though Bartolome operates regionally, the strategies he helps design are the ones we local teams bring to life. Getting to watch how these leaders work and how they adapt global campaigns to our local culture has been one of the most inspiring parts of my job. So let's break it down of what Red Bull does. Red Bull isn't just selling a drink, it's selling a full experience. Here's how we do it. First, distribution. We work with Cerveceria to get Red Bull into supermarkets, convenience stores, gas stations, clubs, bars, basically everywhere. Then come brand activation, which is where I come in. We show up at the right places with energy, music, cold cans, and good vibes. We also sponsor athletes and events, especially in action sports, esports, freestyle music, and urban culture. And we produce local content through social media, Red Bull TV, and branded gear that fans love. My job isn't just about logistics, it's about creating moments, pulling up with the Congo, turning heads, handing someone their first can of Red Bull at just the right time. That's how we turn a drink into a feeling. As I mentioned earlier, two of the people I've had the chance to observe closely are Ivana and Bartolome Paz. Ivana is the one running the show here in the Dominican Republic. She's hands-on, incredibly organized, and completely focused on making sure every brand action aligns with Red Bull's image. Whether it's a small campus activation or a national sports event, she's involved. Bartolome is based outside the country but plays a huge role in shaping what we do here. As part of CASA, he supports and manages dependent teams across Latin America, helping them grow and align with global standards. I didn't just read about them in emails. I got to see them in meetings, in activations, in action. And that gave me a real-world perspective on what high-level marketing leadership looks like, not just in theory, but in motion. So, one of the things I've learned in my 5 months here is that Red Bull Dominicana has a lean but highly efficient structure. At the top locally is Ivana Torres, who leads all marketing efforts. She manages the Wings team, that's where I fit in, and she oversees everything from university activations to large-scale events. Below her, we have the on-premise and off-premise sales managers, which are called musketeers. On the on-premise side, handles Red Bull in clubs, bars, and restaurants, and off-premise focuses on supermarkets, colmados, and retail stores. Both work closely with Cerveceria, our distribution partner, to make sure that product is always available and that it looks great, whether it's in a fridge or behind a bar. Then, there's our logistic coordinator, who aligns inventory with our event calendar. For example, if we have a big weekend with 2 events in Santiago and 1 in Santo Domingo, logistics make sure El Congo is stocked and we don't run out of cans. And the best part, despite how different our roles are, everyone communicates constantly. Whether it's through WhatsApp, morning meetings, or last-minute calls, there's this sense that we're all part of the same mission to make Red Bull is always experienced at its best. So, let's talk more specifically about what I do. My title is event car driver, but honestly, it's so much more than just driving from point A to B. I operate El Congo, which is Red Bull's event jeep. It's fully branded, loaded with a sound system, coolers, lights, and a massive presence. Even when El Congo pulls into a university, a sporting event, or a party, people know something exciting is about to happen. My job is to make sure we show up early, set up properly, distribute products, help with branding, and most importantly, represent Red Bull with energy and confidence. At a typical event, I'll coordinate with the Wings team, handle product storage, park, and position the vehicle for maximum impact, and work with DJs, myself, athletes, or influencers we partner with. There's also a customer service element. You talk to people, introduce them to the product, and embody what the brand stands for. It's physical, fast-paced, and it demands constant attention to detail. But it's also incredibly fun. Honestly, I feel lucky to say that my job involves music, energy, and sharing good vibes with the people all over the country. So, What I learned from sales and logistics. Even though I work in marketing, I've been lucky to see how sales and logistics play into everything we do. I've been on ride-alongs with the on-premise team, visiting bars, nightclubs, checking Red Bull placements, making sure brand is on point, and even seeing how bartenders are trained to serve Red Bull right. With the off-premise team, I've visited stores and markets to see how fridges are set up, how stock is rotated, and how we compete for shelf space. It really opened my eyes to how important visibility is, not just being on the shelf, but being seen and chosen. As for logistics, that's the invisible engine behind it all. They work with Cerveceria to make sure we have a product in the right place at the right time. I've seen how one delay in delivery could throw off an entire weekend of events. Seeing all these departments collaborate helped me understand something important. Even the best marketing idea won't succeed if the product is not there and looking perfect. When the consumer wants it, that's why teamwork between marketing, sales, and logistics is everything. So Red Bull Dominicana's biggest strengths, in my opinion. So one thing Red Bull does incredibly well, not just globally, but right here in the DR, is experiential marketing. We don't sell through big TV campaigns or traditional advertising. We connect with people in the places where they actually live their lives: universities, events, street corners, tournaments. That's face-to-face contact, where you're not just giving out a drink but sharing a moment. Is what creates a real loyalty. Another huge strength is our partnership with Cerveceria. Thanks to them, Red Bull is available pretty much everywhere in the country. It will be way harder to build a national presence without that kind of reach and infrastructure. And finally, the team culture. Everyone I've worked with at Red Bull Dominicana, from the wings team to logistics coordinator to Ivana, shared this mindset of going the extra mile. Even when we're working long hours in the sun, everyone brings passion, commitment, and good vibes. And when the team feels good, the brand looks good. That's something I've really come to understand. Of course, every organization has things it could do better, and Red Bull Dominicana is no exception. One of the biggest challenges I've seen is that local team is very small. That means during busy weekends, like when we have 3 activations in 48 hours, the workload can be intense. Everyone has to multitask, and sometimes things slip through the cracks just because there aren't enough hands. Another point is that we rely heavily on Cerveceria for distribution and sales. While the partnership looks well, we don't always have full control over timing or inventory. And if Cerveceria faces issues, it affects us directly. Finally, pricing. Red Bull is a premium drink, and in a market like the DR, where many people are price sensitive, that can be a barrier, especially when there are cheaper local options available. I've seen it happen. Students walk up to the booth, love the product, but say they can't afford it regularly. That's something to think about when we talk about long-term brand loyalty. So my suggestion for the future. Based on what I've seen and lived, here are the few ideas that I think could help Red Bull Dominicana grow even stronger. First, consider expanding the team gradually, especially during peak seasons. Even a few extra field support roles will take pressure off the wings team. Second, create more structured agreements with Cerveceria, like service level targets for product delivery, shelf visibility, or promotional support. Third, experiment with bundle promotions or smaller size cans. That could help reach new customers who like the brand but hesitate at the price point. Fourth, start using data more actively. Things like event feedback, sampling conversion rates, or regional sales spikes could help us fine-tune which events are really working. And finally, develop a more structured part-time program with more onboarding, mentorship, and role rotation. This job has taught me a lot, and I know it could help more young people grow if the structure were even more defined. Now, to wrap it up, my final thoughts. This job has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had, both professionally and personally. It's given me a new respect for how much work goes into building a brand, not just making people recognize it, but making them feel something when they see it. I've learned how marketing, sales, and logistics come together, and how none of them work in isolation. I've also seen the power of culture, how Red Bull's energy isn't just in the drink, but in the peoples behind it. El Congo became more than a vehicle to me. It was a moving symbol of everything I've learned: purpose, creativity, consistency, and passion. I still work at Red Bull Dominicana today, and I'm grateful for every event, every challenge, and every can we handed out, because each one was a moment to connect, inspire, and grow. And to me, that's exactly what it means to be when I say that Red Bull gives you wings. Thank you.